Greetings, fellow bridge lovers, and welcome to It's Your Call. I'm your host, Kai, and today I am joined by Richard.
Hey, hey.
Richard was one of the members on our team in the GNT Cs when we went to Toronto. He is an absolute legend, probably the strongest player on the team, I must say myself, and that's coming from me, okay? If we had to rank people, because he's got a very interesting thing on his system notes. It's not the fact that he plays a strong club, relay, yada da da, millions of systems in one system. It's the fact that at the very top now you can see that Richard is always right. How did that one come to be?
That's a great question. So that was honestly the biggest change we made between the qualifiers for GNTC and the actual event at Nationals. And it happened because I'm just always right. It's the weirdest thing. I pick up cards, I make the right bid every time. My partner's always terrible, So we had to codify that in some way. No, in reality, I do love my systems. I've spent a ton of time developing a very complete set of bidding agreements that cover any situation you can think of. And so usually what ends up happening is partner forgets one of the very detailed third level steps in one of the agreements. And,
Right.
and then I berate them afterwards for forgetting. And so that's how it came about.
Okay, that makes sense. But the whole funny thing is that your partner that you were playing with, both of you still work at Meta, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
And he founded the Bridge Club at Meta. We actually had him on a previous It's Your Call. Wesley, he was I think it was back in March or February that we had him. He founded this Meta Bridge Club, and Richard actually went to this club and learned how to play bridge there. So Wesley taught him the basics, and then Richard went off on his own spiritual system journey. And now Richard is teaching Wesley's system, and they're playing together and competing. So I think that's a very, very fun story. But yeah, are you ready? Let's see. Well, I guess we don't really have your bidding system here because your partner doesn't know it. You're playing with a robot,
Right.
I'm sorry to say.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's
But
okay. My partner doesn't know it anyway. Even when we're playing in real events, partner doesn't know it anyway. That's the first line of the system notes.
oh, I see. Okay. Well, we'll see if your first line in your system notes transfers over to It's Your Call. Let's do it. For context, you are playing match points. The
Okay.
all important, all powerful match points. West is the dealer, and you are south. And you are not vulnerable, and they are vulnerable.
Yep.
So the auction starts out on a diamond from West. Your partner does a double.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And East does a passe.
Yeah, pass is the expected call here by East.
Yes.
So immediately at match points, right? Most of the time at match points, you're kind of expecting partner to be making a lot more off-shape takeout doubles than they will at IMS, just because it's so important when you have those hands that are in the 11 to 13 range to make sure you don't get completely stolen from, right? Like if, for example, West decides to open a 9 or a 10 count one diamond and another table gets a pass, and then our side is now playing in 3 no trump or 1 no trump north south and makes it, that can be a big swing that we don't want to afford. So this double doesn't even necessarily promise 4 hearts or 4 spades. He could easily have 3-3 in the majors. Power double in clubs is possible. It's a little bit hard to fit a power double in clubs into partner's hand, but it's still one of the possibilities here. Because partner is so likely to have one of these off-shape hands, we have to start evaluating what our options here to make sure we get to a good contract, right? When partner actually has a 4-card heart suit, 4 hearts is probably an okay contract. Here's the problem, though. Let's imagine they have a more prototypical takeout double. They got 2 diamonds, 4-4 in the majors, and 3 clubs. We expect to lose both these diamond tricks. So we have 2 diamond losers that don't have a way to go away, right? Even if we arrange it so that we're playing 4 hearts, so lefty is on lead, he can lead passively, and there's not going to be an easy target to dump these 2 diamond losers on.
Right.
And so for me at match points, this immediately is the hand that screams, okay, we want to be a no trump unless partner's got a 5th heart.
Completely agree. And most of the time when partner does have a 5th heart, they're going to show you that they have a heart suit. Unless they do have a heart power double, like you said, it's very hard to fit that into partner's hand. And I would not be relying on that whatsoever here. But yeah, I definitely would say that if partner has 5 hearts, they certainly would have bid one heart.
I don't think that's necessarily 100% correct, right? Like you can imagine a hand that's 4-5-1-3, right?
Fair.
And might choose, especially if it's the kind of hand that doesn't really want a heart lead, right? If he's got like some empty hearts that aren't looking super high,
Right. The
he might
values are
choose.
condensed in spades, and then you've got pretty much an
Exactly.
empty
Yeah.
heart suit, which, sure.
It can happen, but I don't think that's what we should be thinking about. At this point in the auction, we're not really trying to protect against that.
Yeah.
And so from my perspective, the next question is if partner made a really, really sketchy double here. Let's imagine that they have a 4-by-1 hand with short diamonds and have like 9 points and are making a very match points takeout double. Like, I want to compete for a par score.
Yeah.
Do we still have enough combined to make 3 no trump? This is the next question we have to start evaluating and figuring out. So if we give them 9 points outside of diamonds, let's give them, for example, queen of spades, king of hearts, king jack of clubs. Is that enough tricks? If they're 4-by-1, it's going to be tight. If we imagine that it's going to be just short. I think we're going to make 2-no most of the time there. If hearts are breaking well, when we make 2-no, it could be very tight on 3-no trump. But at the same time, we don't really have a great set of tools here to make a super great invite. Like the 2-no trump invite generally is looking for partner to have 13, 14-point hand to go on.
Yeah.
Assuming you're not playing 2-no as something artificial here, which some pairs might. So 2-no is not a great option. The odds that partner has a diamond stopper are super low. So doing some sort of like 3 diamonds or 2 diamonds queue, asking them to bid no trump with stopper, not super good. I don't see a better path through this auction that gets us to a better spot at match points than just bidding 3 no trump ourselves. A decent amount of the time, they're going to make a lead that costs a trick, right? Like if we want West to lead a diamond to our holding, because we do expect that if East ever gets on lead, that they can finesse the diamonds through us. So force them to a guess at trick 1. Hope that partner's got stuff that fits in the right places. And partner, if they've really got a power double, partner shouldn't pass our 3 no trump.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, they should keep going. They should bid their 4 clubs or 4 hearts or whatever.
Exactly. So the only time we miss is when partner ends up showing up with that 5th heart. And I think that that's such a low percentage of the hands that are actually doubling here.
Yeah.
That I think I'm totally comfortable with just jumping to 3-no and putting the question to them.
Yeah. 3 no trump from you. And at this point, the auction would go all pass, which is great. Partner doesn't have that power double. Lucky for you, partner does not have that hand with 5 hearts either. But we have a few scenarios that we're going to go down a little bit. So this is your final answer of what you would do. But what I like to do in these It's Your Call episodes is also just talk about what would happen in different scenarios, because we're looking at things, we're analyzing different ideas.
Yeah.
So one thing that you mentioned was a 2 diamonds or 3 diamonds bid. 3 diamonds saying if you have a diamond stopper, then you can bid 3 no trump. I agree with the 3 diamonds bid being that, but what about 2 diamonds? What's 2 diamonds to you?
Yeah, good question. So there are a lot of ways that people play these 2 diamonds calls in competition. Almost always forcing. Like there are some rare cases, especially if you're playing against precision 1 diamond here, where you might decide to make 2 no trump. As I mentioned before, you can make 2 no trump your forcing bid and make 2 diamonds an actual natural call. Like you probably don't want to play 1 diamond doubled at match points very often, but sometimes 2 diamonds is just like a decent spot to play if partner's got a just flat hand and it's doubling to show values. But yeah, 2 diamonds should be forcing. And generally the way that most pairs play this is that like you just bid a 4-card major up the line, bid no trump with extras if you've got a stopper and diamonds and some extras and not enough for an immediate 1 no overcall. And it should be forcing at least 1 round, but likely to gain. Depending on how aggressive you are on your takeout double style, for example, with my main partner Wesley, we actually play that a 2-level bid by the doubler is the only way to stop below game. So if I bid 2 diamonds and he bids 2 hearts or 2 spades, then that actually shows a weaker hand, like the minimal strength, like 9 to 10 points, and says, okay, we might want to stop below game.
Gotcha.
Anything else, any other bid that he makes, including a 3 diamonds call. So one interesting auction to consider here is 2 diamonds by South, pass, and then North rebidding 3 diamonds. We actually have this explicit agreement that this is, I have equal preference in the majors. Same equal length in both majors. Now it's your turn to pick a major. And shows extras like, hey, we might still have something more on the table here.
Right.
In case you've got a particularly good hand.
Yeah, so that's the way that I kind of think of this 2 diamonds bid myself, is that partner, I'm not sure which one you want. I'm happy with either. You tell me more information. And now I love this conversation where it's like, double, partner, tell me something. South says, no, you. And then North is going like, really? No, you.
One thing I want to call out about this 2 diamonds call is that it doesn't actually necessarily mean I don't have preference.
True.
Right? This is often a hand that actually is single suited, right? Like you can imagine a hand that like has 6 hearts and actually has real slam interest. You
Yes.
can start with this 2 diamonds call and then rebid your own hearts later, and now partner knows, oh, actually no, he just had a generically strong hand that wanted to start a slam try.
Right, because all other bids really over the double are non-forcing. All of this is
Right.
like, this is invitational, non-forcing,
Yep.
right? And then just bidding game, if you just imagine that partner, you just had this dream of like, we want to be in 4 hearts. This
Yep.
gets you to 4 hearts, but you could easily be missing slam. So the only
Yep.
way, if you really, really wanted to look for slam, is to go through this forcing cubid.
Exactly.
You don't necessarily have to be showing no preference, but normally I play
Yeah.
this as just, it's a very, very strong hand that doesn't really know where to play, or it's just my only forcing bid that I have. So if this was how the auction went, it goes 2 diamonds, your partner would bid 2 spades. Then after this, you would,
3-no still seems like the right call to me. Like,
yeah, totally.
if partner had a strong preference for hearts and was indicating, hey, maybe I've got that 5th heart or I've got like something slightly off shape, then maybe we still sniff for hearts. But again, I still don't see where these diamond losers go in hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And 3-no gives us a decent chance of, A, we don't need as many tricks. We need one fewer trick to make 3-no, which is great. If we actually make 10 tricks, making 3-no plus 1 at match points scores better than 4 hearts making. So there's a lot of upside here, including the fact that West has to find a lead, right? So if North has bid 2 hearts now, the contract is wrong-sided, and they can immediately lead diamonds through our hand off the opening lead. Mm-hmm. Actually, like if we're trying to find hearts, we really don't want partner to bid hearts because we want to try and find West to be on lead,
so that
we don't let East find this super dangerous diamond lead through.
So we need,
and so for all those reasons, like I still think I like 3-no, even if you start with this 2 diamonds call and partner gives hearts.
Yeah,
I'm still thinking I'm offering 3-no as a place to play for partner.
Okay. Yeah, and that was going to be my next question is if you bid 2 diamonds here, if partner does have that 5 heart hand, you do find the hearts when you need to find them, but you do offer an amazing point that the contract is very much wrong-sided. East is almost certainly leading a diamond through the king jack, which is a nightmare. All right, cool. Thank you. Next, I want to let you know what happened on the actual hand itself. So at this point, the vulnerability really came into my decision on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking immediately, okay, 3-no trump almost certainly makes. I'm playing with a fairly sound partner, so they're going to have their takeout double values of an opening hand. So at this point, I was like, well, 3-no trump makes, but 3-no trump only gets 400 or 460 or 490. Well, doesn't something else sound even better? So I got a little bit ambitious, okay?
And passed.
I passed.
That's exciting.
It's exciting. I was living on the edge here because, well, I really don't think that 1 diamond can make. If West has a single-suited diamond hand or partner has some diamond values, how many times are they actually going to be able to finesse my diamonds? And we've got a bunch of values in the other suits as well. So, like, I don't see where a lot of West's tricks are coming from. So I think that passing the double is reasonable. I don't think it's objectively the right thing whatsoever. But one thing that passing the double has a benefit for is if you are playing against some not so strong opponents, they're going to start running.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that might happen.
So what happened is West got scared, they got spooked, and they bid 1 spade. After which
partner gets to double for penalty.
My partner doubles because partner is showing spades. Like they can't. It's not good for them. It goes pass. I pass again, and then it goes 2 diamonds. They run back to diamonds.
What's going on?
Yeah. Okay. This was a moment in which case I then doubled 2 diamonds.
Yep. Yep. I mean, after you pass the 1 diamond call, this is the expected result. And was 2 diamonds off too?
And 2 diamonds did go off too. The entire.
So that means 1 diamond is only off 1, which means the pass is probably not correct. And that's the thing, right? Like, I guess I should have talked about. I did briefly consider pass, like very initially, but like the problem with pass is that there are so many hands that the West hand can hold where we don't set them to that we don't know enough at this point to make that a good call. All they need is 1 board entry to finesse these diamonds potentially to be able to run away with something pretty good. And depending on how East-West play this pass of the double, right? This first pass by East, this might actually explicitly show diamond tolerance. There are pairs that explicitly play that, hey, my pass shows at least 3 diamonds.
Oh, interesting. I haven't heard of
And
that
obviously,
before.
it's not an alertable agreement. So you
Right.
should ask if you're making this decision at the table. But yeah, be careful of that, because you could find yourself in a situation where they've just got a nice 4-3 fit in diamonds and everything's going to be okay.
Hmm.
You're going to have the outside stuff, but some of it might be misplaced, and all it takes is one board entry, and you'll be not taking as many tricks as you want.
Right.
Now, sometimes one diamond is off 6, and you mint a beautiful like 1100. You know,
One diamond off 6. I don't. Well, 1100. Like, well, I guess if we're non-vulnerable, then that's fine because that we missed slam because 1100 is bigger than whatever.
yeah,
But like at the same time, you're just like,
yeah,
yeah, you really have to be sure that that one diamond is down 6, and how
yeah.
can you really be sure that that one diamond is
Yeah.
down 6?
Certainly, I like the rest of these decisions after the initial pass. I think passing partners double is correct, and I think we should maybe mention that this double by North should be a penalty double.
Oh,
And in
definitely.
fact, I think a very strong agreement is that in an auction where partner has passed a takeout double for penalty, or previously made a double for penalty,
Hmm.
either of the two, that any further doubles by either pair it can never be a takeout double.
Yeah,
It must be saying, I want to penalize them right here.
yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense here because North already has shown the shape of their hand. So, what would be the purpose of anyone doing any other sort of takeout doubles? If you had a suit, you would probably just bid it naturally. I think that's a very logical agreement to make based off of what has been showed. So, I guess the only concern is that partner has a power double, in which case they wouldn't be penalty doubling anyway. So,
Right.
that was how this hand went. In the end, I guess it doesn't matter as much, but partner's hand is ace 10 fourth, king,
Hmm.
queen, jack tight, singleton, and jack 10 fifth of clubs.
Yeah. So in 2 diamonds, they're going to end up taking 4 or 5 diamond tricks in the king of clubs and maybe a spade,
Yeah, so
depending on the timing. And we might be able to tap them in hearts in time, I guess. But it's going to get a little spicy for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. That I mean, in the end, is they did get tapped in hearts. Partner did lead a diamond here.
It makes sense. Your
It makes
pass should
complete
call
sense.
for a diamond lead. Yep.
Totally. Just what confused me is after the hand, I looked at West's diamond suit. They have ace queen 10 9 fifth.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know
They should
why they're
pass that.
running from one diamond, but I'm glad that they did because plus 500 got us a top board. So,
And certainly, if West's plan with this hand is okay, I am going to run from diamonds to spades. Correcting back to diamonds can never be the right line of thinking. Like if you
yeah,
make the decision at the table, you're holding the cards. I've been penalized in diamonds. All right, diamonds isn't where I want to play.
right.
There's not really an option where you get to make the decision to pull back to diamonds. Partner can decide,
Yeah,
right? Your partner can be like, no, trust me, diamonds was better than spades. I know.
yeah.
But you don't get to make another decision and be like, actually, I changed my mind. Like that's in general, like doing that in bridge is not a good pattern.
Yeah, you got to make up your mind beforehand. If you're going to run back to
Yep,
diamonds, it should be partner's decision. And I think that their partner should have ran back to 2 diamonds after
probably.
the one spade double because they do have 3 diamonds.
Yeah.
And West bid diamonds first, and East actually only has 2 spades. Either way, they would be in 2 diamonds doubled. But yeah, I think that your decision to bid 3 no trump was probably objectively correct. I think that I probably need a little bit more power in diamonds to be able to actually pass this
Yeah, I think you want the kind of
confidently.
hand that can draw trump on its own, right?
Right.
Like I think that's the main thing. You don't even need more strength. You just need your strength to not be king jack, right?
Right.
Like ace empty fourth is actually fine. Your king
Right.
jack is terrible because you don't have control over the suit. If you
Exactly.
can tap him and then force the closed hand, the declarer, to lead out of his hand, that's amazing. But you
Love it.
don't
Yeah.
get that luxury with this hand
No.
that often, right?
Right.
That's what I would be thinking about anyway, is that like we don't take more tricks in 4 hearts. 3-0 is at least safe, right? And has much upside given that West has to make a lead out of their hand.
Right.
And pass, we just don't seem to have the right defensive strength. We have a lot of strength, but it's not in the right place defensively.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for all of your thoughts, Richard. It was a very, very fun episode, and I liked listening to your thought process on the different hands that partner could have with double. I don't think all that deep about it, so I need to really work on imagining these other hand shapes where partner might not want to bid hearts. if they don't have a hand where they want to be led direct towards heart.
Right.
So yeah, keeping all of those things in considerations and imagining the hand shapes as they come out is definitely a skill that myself and probably many others need to really work on. But yeah, this was really good. I'm glad that you probably made it to the most reasonable 3 no trump contract. But this was just a very fun hand that works
Yeah.
out if you happen to decide to pass as well. Thank you for your time, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing with you again sometime.
Absolutely. Sounds great. All right. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're gonna see y'all next week. Bye.